Welcome to Pullman, Washington. Thursday night soccer tonight. Non-conference action with Washington State taking on Northern Colorado. Glad to have all of you with us on the Palouse on this Thursday night. Should be a really fun match tonight between Washington State and Northern Colorado. First time the Cougars have hosted the Bears on the Palouse, and Washington State is coming off a match on Sunday that was back and forth. Cal Poly struck first in the match, but Washington State, a quick answer from an impressive freshman in Lily Boyden, has been showcasing the speed this year and got her first Cougar goal in the 32nd minute, just seconds after Cal Poly took a 1-0 lead. And then Lindsey Turner, another newcomer for the Cougars, picking up her first career goal. This was to answer another Cal Poly tally in the second half, early second half action for the Cougars to get it to 2-2. Washington State was trying to grab a 4-match winning streak. Grayson Lynch, late in the match, approaching the final 15 minutes, an absolute rocket to the upper 90. Another goal for Lynch this season, her third on the year. And Washington State continues to dominate shots on goal, and defensively limiting the amount of shots that their opposition's getting. For Northern Colorado, Lauren Woodhull, leading this team in scoring so far this year, already has 5 goals for the Bears, team that features 5 different scorers on the season. And Northern Colorado coming off a tough trip to the East Coast against Power 5 competition last week, but they're looking to lean on Woodhull to try to get some opportunities against the Cougar back. Washington State so far this season, really impressive, 6th in the nation in shots created. And you see Todd Schulenberger just 3 wins away from becoming the wins leader in Washington State program history. His club wraps up non-conference play at home tonight. Washington State and Northern Colorado coming up next here on Pac-12+. This weekend marks the dress rehearsals for Northern Colorado and Washington State. Final non-conference matchups on this 2022 women's soccer season. And welcome to the lower soccer field in Pullman, Washington. Should be a great one tonight against the winners of the Big Sky from a season ago, and the Washington State Cougars, who are one of the top teams in the Pac-12. Northern Colorado, the team that won that regular season Big Sky championship last year. The starting 11 looks like this. And we highlighted in the open, Lauren Woodhull has been scoring a ton of goals for Northern Colorado. She has 5 for this team, but she has a bevy of help in the midfield with a pair of goals each. Players like Lucy Hart, Haley Collier, Haley Onan, and Melina Ferris, who can all score as well for Northern Colorado. They'll try to get to the Washington State defensive side. The Cougars side looks like this tonight on the Palouse. Much of the same of what we've seen from Todd Schulenberger this year, although he is still working on the rotations coming into this final week of non-conference play. Getting a start is Lindsey Turner in the midfield. Lately it's been Grayson Lynch and Margie DeTrizio, 2 of the upperclassmen leaders of this Washington State team who have been playing tremendously well. See Margie there in the middle of your screen. They were helped out by a pair of newcomers in Lindsey Turner and Lily Boyden, who scored their first career goals for Washington State their last time outs. In this match today, 2 coaches well established with their programs, 2 programs that are well cultured, know exactly what they want to do to get after it, and Northern Colorado starts with possession first here tonight. Grayson Lynch is going to quickly get it on a counter for Washington State and cross it into the box, right into the hands of Kaya Lindberg, the junior goalkeeper from California, who is playing in her 9th match this year, has allowed 9 goals. Grayson Lynch for Washington State scored 2 last year against Northern Colorado in Greeley, Colorado, a match the Cougars won 3-0 last season. Again, the Bears in the midfield. Haley Onan trying to play it forward. Keelan McGlynn will play it back to Nadia Cooper. She keeps it at her feet a lot inside of the box. Grayson Lynch able to run onto this. Trying to work her way around Haley Collier. Lynch gets some space off the crossbar. A follow and a great save by Lindberg. Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson turned away trying to follow here in the 2nd minute. Grayson Lynch rings one off the crossbar. And then a magnificent save by Kaya Lindberg. Her 42nd of the season keeps it scoreless here in the opening 2 minutes. Wow, great sprawling save to her left. So that's how we get started tonight in the early minutes. Washington State 4-1 with a tie this year. Cougars are on a 4-match winning streak, 5-match unbeaten streak. Foul here against Washington State. It knocked Alex Michael, a freshman midfielder for Northern Colorado, to the turf. It'll be bare possession. Northern Colorado is 4-2 with 2 draws on the season. Played forward here by Samantha Blanchard. And off of Brittany Donis out of play. Donis not too far from home for Northern Colorado. Senior who is from Kennewick in the Tri-Cities. Ball ringing around back to the feet of Onan. Cleared out by Menis. It'll still be a Northern Colorado throw-in. Last weekend, Northern Colorado was on the East Coast. A pair of tough results at James Madison and at Virginia Tech, which was a homecoming for head coach Tim Barrera, who's in his 24th season with Northern Colorado. He played for the Hokies, 81-84. Left the program as their all-time leading goal scorer. Washington State able to fend it off for a goal kick here. So that homecoming a little soured. Better second half at the end of the weekend for Northern Colorado. It was a 3-2 game in the second half, but Virginia Tech, beg your pardon, had the lead early. Passed on nicely by Jenna Studer. The header that kind of flicked on. Now it's to her sister Sydney. Cougars trying to set it up wide. Already had the exciting opportunity in the second minute with Grayson Lynch gaining some space and Kaya Lindberg making one of her best saves of the season so far. Studer back out wide. Crossed in. Frimpong Ellertson trying to find Turner, the sophomore midfielder, on the far post. Nobody home, and back to Northern Colorado it goes. Northern Colorado preseason picked first in the Big Sky. Washington State ran into the Big Sky in the NCAA postseason last year, hosting Montana here at the Lower Soccer Field. That's another team that's right up near the top of the Big Sky Conference. Good barometer for the kind of side the Cougars will face tonight. Well coached, well disciplined, and a lot of talented players in Northern Colorado. Keelan McLinn with the throw-in. Sends this long, and Frimpong Ellertson trying to get it cleared off of Blanchard, but it'll be the goal kick instead. Busy start for the senior from Vancouver, who already had that scoring opportunity on the follow-up. 59th career start here in her Cougar career tonight. Menes clearing out the wide side. End of the weekend for Washington State was a 3-2 win over Cal Poly. Really fun game to take in on Sunday. Washington State and Cal Poly went back and forth. Cougars emerged with a 3-2 victory. Nice play through by DeTrizio, but there to get it, Lindberg. Northern Colorado will keep it safe in the box once again. Noticeable for Cal Poly, there was still a huge disparity in shots and opportunities for the Cougars last weekend, but for the first time it felt like all year Washington State started to have some trouble keeping possession in the midfield. It's a really good job by the Mustangs to gain some of that possession. And that's certainly going to be part of the key for Northern Colorado as well. A lot of teams that struggle against Washington State kind of get on their heels and are trying to play in the defensive for 90 minutes. And against a team with so many prolific athletes and that can generate so many shots, it just creates so many problems when you're on the defensive nearly all night. Cougars have the lone shot opportunity early in this one. Good start in this match for Kaya Lindbergh. Had a rough weekend with the 7 goals scored against Northern Colorado last week on the East Coast. She's trying to get back to where she was at the start of the season, and Northern Colorado was running a nice unbeaten streak off to start the year. First 6 matches, it was 4 wins, 2 draws for Northern Colorado. Turner trying to get to it, a collision. Emerging is Alex Michael trying to play the midfield, looking for Lauren Woodhull. It'll be chased down for a Washington State throw-in. Turner out of the midfield. Cougars end up backing it up. Woodhull up at the prong of that Northern Colorado attack. Different UNC tonight. Trying to pester the Cougar backline as Washington State tries to generate something up forward. This is common where the Cougars like to build back and play a nice ball forward and let some of the athletes take control up at the front of the Washington State attack. That was headed by Jenna Studer, but it's going to land to Blanchard. And Blanchard able to clear it away from net. This will allow Washington State to set it up once again with Micaiah Maness. Maness tries to thread the needle, but picked off by Melina Ferris. Ferris now with some room to run onto it, playing out wide to Donis. Brittany Donis across into the box, cleared off by Rican. Ferris again setting up. Nice footwork to get a left-footed opportunity. Held in by Onan. Best sustained attack for Northern Colorado is taken away by Grayson Lynch. And now Lynch has a head of steam the other way. Big counter coming for the Cougars. Picked away by Blanchard. Nice one-on-one challenge for Samantha Blanchard here in the early minutes. It'll be a Washington State throw-in. Northern Colorado taking on its 3rd Power 5 opponent this year. The 5-2 loss to Virginia Tech this weekend. Also drew early in the season on the road at Kansas State in a 1-1 match. McLinn with the throw-in to DeTrizio. Cougar leading goal scorer, 5th in the Pac-12 with the 4 goals. Tappan found some room wide. Studer a little quick step back in. Poked out along the back by Hart. It's Lucy Hart, the sophomore. Frimpong Ellertson across. DeTrizio got a foot on it, and Margie DeTrizio scores from just outside the 6. Volleys in across from Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson, and in the 11th minute, WSU strikes first for a 1-0 lead. Right on cue, the 5th goal of the season for Margie DeTrizio. That's now a 5-match streak with either a goal or an assist for DeTrizio. And a great pass by Jenna Studer to spark it. As you see that cross. How about the control by DeTrizio to volley that in on the fly for a 1-0 Cougar lead. 2 shot attempts that have been on frame for the Cougars have been really good here tonight. One off the crossbar and now one that lands for a goal. It's something that Todd Schulenberger has loved about his Washington State side, is just the shot opportunities that they are developing. With the 2 shots credited tonight, the Cougars are out shooting their opposition 138-52. You see Todd Schulenberger there. He's 3 wins away from tying the program record in wins held by Matt Potter. And Potter kind of built the beginning, the building blocks of this decade of success at Washington State, which has seen the Cougars in every normal season since 2008, better than a decade since 2008. Every normal year that wasn't a COVID year, Washington State made the NCAA tournament. And that's now the expectation in Pullman, but it's not a question of if, but when Todd Schulenberger will take over as the winningest head coach all time at Washington State. Tremendous program he's built here, a 65% match winning percentage. Just behind Reese Tappan there, you see Brian Blitz. Blitz gave Schulenberger one of his first opportunities to cut his teeth at Missouri, longtime head coach of Missouri. Retired there from the Tigers, came to Pullman. Now he's an assistant on Todd Schulenberger's staff, which also features a former Pac-12 head coach in Matt Kagan. Turner deflecting that out of play. And it's been really cool this year talking to Todd about that coaching staff, and he said it's really fun to have Brian Blitz, who's obviously at this point content to be an assistant here on this Washington State staff. And then I think Matt Kagan, who's really carved out a nice role for the Cougars as well. His coaching staff continues to turn in very highly ranked recruiting classes. A top 10 class that came in 2022 here for Washington State. And there's a lot of good coaching on both sides tonight. Talk about Tim Barrera and his 24 seasons at Northern Colorado, last year's Big Sky Coach of the Year. He's at the top of the bench over to the right side, kind of by Reese Tappan, the rest of the coaching staff there with Barrera. But of those 27 seasons, 24 as the head man of Northern Colorado. Bears trail in the early minutes to the Cougars, who've put the best opportunities on net. Turner tied up on the far side. Nice play by Alex Michael. Michael, one of the newcomers on this Northern Colorado team. One of 11 freshmen. Now, this roster is deep for the Bears. In terms of plenty of players to go around, and there are a key number of underclassmen that are making important impacts in the early season for Northern Colorado. Rican sending this in. Lynch was on the back end. Nice job to head it away by Blanchard. Frimpong Ellertson, a left-footed strike that's wide. May have been intended for Lynch, who's on the back end of that play as well. Frimpong Ellertson, the assist on the DeTrizio goal, as you see her there. Margie's 5th goal of the season, 12th of the career for the junior. Todd Schulenberger this week saying, you know, for Margie, it's been a lot this year about her time is now. You know, she's kind of waited in the wings behind players like Morgan Weaver, Elise Bennett. And now it's Margie DeTrizio. The year of DeTrizio has been amazing. And along with the goal scoring for Margie, she's second in the Pac-12 and top 25 nationally with 4 assists. If the Cougars have a scoring opportunity, the way it's gone this year so far, chances are DeTrizio is involved in there somewhere. Turner, nifty play to keep it to the turf with possession. Now DeTrizio spins a defender, gets around Roberts. A step left, back right. DeTrizio, still room, and another save by Lindbergh. Margie DeTrizio looking for an early brace tonight in Pullman, and nearly did it with tremendous individual effort on the carry into the box. Really impressive work by DeTrizio. You talk about the length and the speed of the Washington State forwards. It's become a cookie cutter type of player that Todd Schulenberger is trying to find, with length, athleticism, speed, versatility to move into the midfield but also come up into the attack. It's really what makes the Washington State system so prolific in terms of shot opportunities. There's been no shortage of them this year for WSU. Top 6 in the country in shots generated. Turner tying up along the far side, and a little too much contact from Lindsey Turner, who picks up the foul. Good battle by Haley Onan. Officials taking a moment to talk to Turner, who's going to lace it up. Hanif Zarabi Kashani is the referee. Sergey Silan, Cole Johnson, Josh Madison, the assistant and alternate officials tonight in Pullman. Turner getting out of a little collision. See the Cougar forwards so many times. They can start that way, back to the play, and then spin it around. Lynch, it's a little outpaced in front of her from Sydney Studer. But both Lynch and DeTrizio, they're so good at that with the back to net, and then able to turn the ball with possession and get a quick first step to get some real estate. Lynch had the game winner for Washington State on Sunday from the corner of the 18, and she ran into it and one-timed it into the upper 90 on what was one of the more impressive goals you're going to see. Just an absolute cross-post rocket. 19th minute, early match has been controlled by Washington State, a handball along the far side. Keep it with the Cougars. So the captain's band on Haley Collier, the senior from Chandler, Arizona, one of 5 returning starters on this Northern Colorado team. Frimpong Ellertson able to get across. Lynch turns it back around. It's knocked by Lindbergh off the crossbar. Studer trying to scramble to it and got her feet tied up. Washington State trying to keep the pressure on. The clearance landed back at McLean. Turner just poking it to Bridget Reekin. And Reekin sends it in, headed by Blanchard. Northern Colorado has room to possess this and settle it down after another scoring attempt for Washington State that hits crossbar. Grayson Lynch off the bar. Lindbergh, a secondary effort to deflect it off the crossbar, help make that save. Cougars sending it back in. Blanchard looking for some help. Kind of deked DeTrizio back inside, but couldn't keep it in along the sideline. Washington State with the throw-in coming up. Blanchard has been busy early, a 5th-year senior for Northern Colorado. Previously played at Cal State Fullerton and Mississippi State. Before that, over 2,400 career minutes. Wow, nice play by Frimpong Ellertson. Turner with a right foot, and it's wide. Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson just turning it around the defender to give Lindsey Turner a little bit of space for the Cougs. What an effort on this play by Washington State. Turner just got hedged out of the box a little further than she wanted to be. Nice job by the 5th-year senior Haley Onan to make that play. Sydney Studer helping win the 50-50 in the midfield. And got tripped up over the ball. It'll still be Washington State with the throw in from the far side. Approaching the halfway point of the first half, the Cougars an 11th minute goal for Margie DeTrizio for a 1-0 lead tonight. Frimpong Ellertson dancing around. A setup down to Reese Tappan. Cross comes in, and it's an own goal off of Northern Colorado. Trying to slide in and make the stop, Lucy Roberts, and it caught her cleats and into the net. A 2-0 Washington State lead. Created on a crossing opportunity, I believe it looked like from Reese Tappan. A 2-0 Cougar lead, 22nd minute, and indeed it was. Tappan crossing, yeah, and you could see sliding into it Roberts. But it works out for a tally for Washington State, 2-0 Cougars. And a tough break for Northern Colorado, just trying to deny that crossing spot for WSU. Lindsey Turner now to Margie DeTrizio. DeTrizio trying to give it back in the corner. Cougars have all 5 shots in this match. 2 on frame. We've yet to see a corner kick. And only a couple early fouls from Washington State. A lot of this has been played to space for the Cougars in the midfield, and they've done a nice job of letting the top of the attack do its thing. Turner kind of flipping it to Frimpong Ellertson. Her opportunity now with a quick step. And Frimpong Ellertson off the post and in.
Washington State.
Now an assist and a goal. As a minute later, Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson takes a 2-0 Cougar lead up to 3-0.
Number 32, Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson.
Economic work tonight by the Washington State attack. 3 goals on 6 shots. And the Cougars have broken it open halfway through the first half here tonight in Pullman. So quick at the feet. And Frimpong Ellertson used every inch of the frame to go across Lindbergh for the score. So Northern Colorado has been knocked on its heels tonight, very similar to what happened at Virginia Tech in their last match, where it was a first half flurry for the Hokies. Northern Colorado did have a counterpunch in that one, but Virginia Tech went on to win. DeTrizio keeping it. And now she operates with room to carry. Takes a shot from the top of the box, and it's just high. The Cougar forwards are getting a lot of room to play with the ball at their feet. It's paying dividends in shot opportunities for Washington State. So you see here, Margie DeTrizio starting just at the attacking third and working her way all the way to that great shot opportunity. 7th shot for WSU. Right away, the Cougars volley it back in. Lindbergh was able to make the snag. Not the start Northern Colorado envisioned tonight in Pullman. Washington State has owned possession. And Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson has been a real problem for Northern Colorado tonight. She saves it along the end line there for the Cougars. Got it back to Tappan. Tappan Still tangled up. Frimpong Ellertson can cross it high. Blanchard knocked it out. McLinn racing in for a shot. It's wide of frame. So Keela McLinn returns to the pitch for the Cougars this year, a sixth-year senior. Had 2 season-ending injuries in her Cougar career. Member of the Washington State College Cup team in 2019. Frimpong Ellertson and Lynch will get a breather for Washington State. Alyssa Gray and Lily Boyden will come in for the Cougars just past the halfway point of this first half. I think it's actually Brianna McReynolds, not Lily Boyden. Brianna McReynolds and Alyssa Gray who have entered for Washington State. McReynolds, the Oregon State transfer, and Gray, the junior who has put up a marvelous career in crimson and gray. Ball gets quickly passed for DeTrizio. Her shot's deflected and for good measure tapped out by Lindbergh. And the first corner kick tonight is coming for Washington State.
And that's a Cougar corner kick.
Before the corner kick, Washington State will get another substitution. Eleli Hernandez Repreza for Lindsey Turner. Here in the 27th minute as Alyssa Gray will set up the corner kick. Oliver Cougs at the top of the box. Rieken the first one, breaking in front of net. Rieken got a head on it. Well, didn't react like she did. A fourth Cougar goal. This may again have grazed a bear, but it was Bridget Rieken in the area creating the havoc to lead to a 4-0 Cougar lead. And a deluge of goals here in the first half for Washington State. And it is Rieken's first goal of the season, 5th of her career, for a 4-0 Cougar lead. Despite the 3-2 final on Sunday, there was still some frustration for Washington State, and Northern Colorado's kind of run into it at the wrong time tonight. Collier fouled by Hernandez Repreza. But a 4-0 lead for WSU. Goals for Margie DeTrizio, then an own goal, Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson, and now Bridget Rieken. Northern Colorado will substitute Kayla Needling for Lily Timpson. Brianna McReynolds gets the assist on the Bridget Rieken goal, not Alyssa Gray. Brianna McReynolds on the set piece. Here's a look back at it. Yep, Rieken was the one that was there, and you could see her put her hands out as it did hit the head of Samantha Blanchard. DeTrizio along the end line. The cross and caught by Lindbergh. 9 shots, 2 saves, but 4 goals for WSU. Tough run here for Melina Ferris to get to it. Did before Jenna Studer won it away back in the midfield. Gray back to Jenna Studer. Quick touch to her sister Sydney. Trying to get forward to Alyssa Gray. Northern Colorado wanted an offsides call. This ball fluttering on Lindbergh, and she's just able to tap it out of play. Another Cougar corner. Washington State almost worked in a 5th goal. My goodness, what a start for the Cougars.
And that's another
Reese Tappan that time.
corner kick.
And McReynolds will set for another Washington State corner. The first resulted in a goal. Bridget Rieken again in front. This goes to Sydney Studer, who's hot. Another substitution coming for Northern Colorado. It'll be for Haley Collier. Abby Bush, freshman from Greeley, takes her spot. Bush with quite a lineage in Greeley. Her mom ran cross country, track and field at Northern Colorado. Ball sandwiched here in the midfield. And Jenna Studer winning it away for Washington State. Margie DeTrizio again gaining a little space. Nifty move back by Gray. DeTrizio trying to give it back to her, and Gray crosses it wide. No touch. Goal kick coming for the Bears, and Todd Schulenberger will make 3 substitutions here as well. Just 2/3 of the way through the first half, and WSU has a 4-0 lead. See Marin Wielden, Lexi Lerwick, and Clea Gathright in for the Cougars. Takes the spot of Jenna Studer, Akila McLinn. And it looked like Reese Tappan as well. Tappan rarely gets a breather for Washington State, but does here. Gray gets behind the back line. Lindbergh able to get out to it.
On the field now for the Cougs, number 21, Collier Gathright, number 22, Marin Wielden, number 30, Lexi Lerwick.
Their ball headed in the midfield, and McReynolds off the heel to DeTrizio. DeTrizio running on. DeTrizio trying to play it through for Gray. Now, these opportunities for Washington State are coming uncontested.
Coming in for Northern Colorado, number 3.
A lot of free runners at net. Ashley Hillman will take the spot of Brittany Donis now. Hillman, who has now played in all matches except for James Madison at the beginning of last weekend, does have an assist this year, the sophomore from Bend, Oregon. But so far, Northern Colorado still looking for its first shot opportunity. Cougars challenge in the midfield again. Chance for Woodhull to turn it around, tries to play it upfield, and there's nobody home on the backside. Cooper quickly sending it away, and DeTrizio headed it back to Roberts. A Washington State throw-in coming. 4 goals for the Cougars. Matches their high on the year. They won 4-2 against Denver back at the beginning of this month. Marin Wielden from way out, a little too wide.
Coming in now for the Cougs, number 6, Anaya Cutler.
Another Cougar substitution for Margie DeTrizio is Anaya Cutler, junior from Long Beach, California, who is now playing in her 28th career match, has 8 shots. In the midfield, a foul against Washington State, a push. Going for the header, Northern Colorado will have a chance to set up a set piece here from the attacking half. See what Samantha Blanchard can do. 5th-year senior pokes it into the box. Big collision down in there. Hitting the deck was Abby Bush. Cooper racing to one from the top. Sailed wide off the foot of Haley Onot. Roberts will head to the bench for McKenna Wilson, another 5th-year senior from Northern Colorado. Coming towards the final 10 minutes of the first half. Good crowd tonight on a Thursday night in Pullman has seen the Cougars run away with the first half action. Cutler still fighting for it in the midfield. Heads to McReynolds, right back on to Wielden. And cleared back out top of the box by the Northern Colorado defensive backfield. Out of the midfield opportunity from Michael, trying to catch the far side, and it was last touched by Gathright. Was intended for Lily Timpson, the new check-in. Officials stop things before the throw in here, correcting the positioning of the throw. Timpson ends up with the pinball. Cougars still racing to the midfield, chasing Collier. Or that was Bush, beg your pardon. Timpson redirecting for Michael. Michael tripped up right on the edge of the box. And it's last off Michael. No whistle comes from the officials. And a goal kick coming. The freshman from Gillette, Wyoming, who has started in all 9 matches this year. A 3-time All-Stater in Wyoming, 4-time All-Conference, 2-time state champion. Brings a great pedigree into this program. As we mentioned, has become a very winning program in the Big Sky. Washington State in the first half tonight has just been too strong. And I think Northern Colorado, quite frankly, when they go back and watch the tape on this, are going to say they left too many opportunities for the Cougar forwards and attacking midfielders to do what they do best, which is operate in space. Another ball play forward by Onan. Cougars will counter towards Cutler. Cutler trying to run to it. That's cut off by Wilson with a chance to get some help and set up from her defense. Cougars with 3 different goal scorers and an own goal here in the first half. Alex Michael gets a break for Sydney Engelkins. Both teams have emptied the benches here in the first half. Lots of substitutions here into the final 10 minutes. Final non-conference week for both of these sides. Ferris hustling to that ball to clear it wide will give Northern Colorado a chance to communicate, reorganize. Washington State will have a throw in deep in the attacking territory. Bit of a collision with McReynolds trying to find a little room. Lerwick now. Big redirection. McReynolds again going to play hot potato with Lerwick. Lerwick really sending it in from distance. Northern Colorado trying to keep it out of there. Gathright with a shot, deflects off the post. Washington State has rung the crossbar on those goalposts all night. Big effort by the Cougars, Alyssa Gray, to try to keep it in, but it'll be a goal kick for Northern Colorado. 3-0 win for the Cougars last year in Greeley. This the return on that matchup. We mentioned another great crowd on hand tonight. Cougars averaging 1,500 a match this year. That so far is above the 1238 they averaged through the gates last season, which was a program record. Alyssa Gray trying to feed up for McReynolds. Again, Lindbergh will race out to scoop it up. Washington State mentioned coming in they want a chance to look at rotations here in this last weekend, still trying to make some decisions. And the Cougars are going to get to see some more players here tonight. A ton have already been in action. Studer, a collision on the attack, and a foul was whistled against Northern Colorado. It'll stay with Washington State. But Todd Schulenberger said it's a tremendous problem to have for Washington State is that they have a very deep rotation. He has felt deeper than in previous years, and that was the prediction he had coming into the season. He thought there'd be more than just kind of one bell cow leading the Washington State attack, and that's proven true. Showcased tonight by 3 different goal scorers. Sydney Studer earning this opportunity for Washington State. Collier Gathright, the sophomore, taking the set piece. Continues to break around. Hernandez Repreza keeping it in to Marin Wheeldon. Wheeldon crosses back box. Great shot. That's crossbar for Wheeldon. Man, Washington State has hit the pipes 6 times tonight, and that's with 4 goals scored. Cougars are all over it this evening. Marin Wheeldon nearly collecting her 3rd career goal. She has started to generate those scoring opportunities after netting her 1st career tally in the NCAA tournament against Montana last year. Maness up to Gray. And a nice thought, plenty of time for Wilson to collect until Cutler comes running in and deflect it. The Cougars nearly hustled to save it. Final 5 minutes of the half. A 15-1 shot advantage for WSU. And Rachel Mortensen in for Northern Colorado. It has been a half dominated by the Cougars. Another play through into the box, again cleared off by Wilson. Cutler. They need to make a move to cross. Really nice play by Wilson defensively. And the man on marking for Wilson to take that away comes all the way back out top for Washington State. It does hold in. Gathright using some speed to get to it. Another cross. Gray's there. And that was picked off of the back line. Nice coverage to help out for Melina Ferris. Washington State trying to find a 5 spot here in the first half. And what was a really wild opening 27 minutes for the Cougars. 3 of the 4 goals were scored in a 5-minute stretch of this half, from the 22nd to the 27th minutes. And it's provided plenty of comfort tonight for the hometown fans in Pullman, seeing their final non-conference match of the year. Kaya Maness racing back to this. Good play to get there ahead of Ashley Hillman. Timpson in the midfield. Not enough pace, and Lerwick will undercut it. And then Lerwick plays it long. Last home non-conference game we mentioned for WSU. They have St. Mary's this weekend to close out that slate, and then conference play starts with Oregon State next Thursday night in Corvallis. Then Colorado and Utah the following week at home to end September and open up October. Great to have you on hand tonight in Pullman for this Pac-12 production of women's soccer tonight. Brandon McReynolds. Quick step. McReynolds definitely can cross this. Does in front of net again. It's held off by Bush. And Timpson trying to come up with it. Rieken, though, quick to step to it. Now we're into the final minute of the first half. Washington State building for one more opportunity. Collier Gathright steadying it and trying to send it in. Lindbergh will come out and get it. Busy half for Kale Lindbergh. Has seen 6 shots on goal, 10 others off the frame. Lerwick with a slide to it. It stays in and no whistle comes. Gathright playing the far side. First intention was for Engelkins for Northern Colorado. Timpson hanging into it. Hernandez Repreza got all ball there. Cougars playing this forward for McReynolds, but it's going to get all the way to the keeper Lindbergh and end our first half of play tonight in Pullman. A 5-minute flurry in the middle of the half for Washington State. Took an early 1-0 advantage all the way to 4-0 after 45 minutes on the Palouse tonight. It's all Cougs thanks to Margie DeTrizio, Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson, and Bridget Reekin. The Cougars trying to chase their 5th win in a row and their 6th consecutive unbeaten match. 4-0 at the half. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back closer to the start of halftime number 2, about 15 minutes away for half number 2, as it's 4-0 Washington State here at the break on Pac-12 Plus. What a night for Washington State. 4-0 the Cougars lead after the opening 45 minutes of play tonight in Pullman. And it was a busy first half for the Washington State attack. It started with the Cougars' leading goal scorer, thanks to some nifty passing from Jenna Studer and Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson, but just a beauty of a finish for Margie DeTrizio. She's able to volley that right in for a 1-0 Washington State lead. That came in the 11th minute, gave the Cougars an early 1-0 advantage. For the next 10 minutes, it stayed at 1-0, but then the Cougars benefited from an own goal, and this would kick off a flurry of scoring for Washington State. Reese Tappet on the cross there that was angled back into the Northern Colorado net. That was in minute number 22 for a 2-0 Cougar lead. And it was just a minute later that Washington State was able to cash in again here in the first half. Frimpong Ellertson already an assist tonight. Used a great spin and a burst of speed to go off the post and in for the 3-0 Cougar lead. Goal number 1 on the year for Frimpong Ellertson, the 6th of her Cougar career. And Washington State was not done in the half. Another 4 minutes later for the Cougars, it was Bridget Reekin on the right end of a corner kick for Washington State. In fact, the first of the match for the Cougars, and that made it 4-0. The Cougars were credited with 15 shots in the first half, 6 on goal, and there were another 6 that hit some combination of the crossbar or the post. They won't count as shots on goal, but they were really good opportunities for Washington State, as you see the first half stats there and the disparity in favor of the Cougars tonight in Pullman. This is the final non-conference home matchup for Washington State on the year. They do have conference play kicking off 2 weeks from tonight against Colorado in Pullman. Oregon State is next week to open Pac-12 play. Northern Colorado, same boat, end of their non-conference schedule this weekend. They'll get to return home for Utah State against the Aggies on Sunday to cap the non-conference schedule. That's before they're into Big Sky play against Portland State the first week and Eastern Washington. Portland State, Sacramento State, excuse me, rather. Washington State, it looks like, has returned to the same starting 11. Sydney Studer was offside on the play, trying to get it back into the box. Looks like both sides have returned to their starters here in half number 2. That's Donis, Hart, Blanchard, Collier, Onan, Ferris, Roberts, Michael, Woodhull, Needling, and Lindbergh for Northern Colorado. And then Cooper, Tappan, Studer, both Studers, should say, Lynch, Rieken, Turner, Tetrizio, McLinn, and Mines, Frimpong, Ellertson for the Cougars. Margie Tetrizio, a little space again, trying to get wide for Grayson Lynch. Lynch reversing field to work it back to Reese Tappan. Frimpong, Ellertson trying to leave it for Sydney Studer. Race to the end line. Nice play to hold it in. Tappan getting it in front of net. It gets dangerous once again. Studer trying to play it off the bounce. A little frustration there for Kale Lindbergh, who wanted to just catch that last cross from Washington State, but ended up with one more opportunity for Sydney Studer. All the scoring tonight. Washington State just wants to get a goal for Grayson Lynch. She's riding a 3-match goal streak, trying to become just the 6th Cougar all-time to score a tally in 4 consecutive matches. The last to do it was Washington State's All-American forward Morgan Weaver. Margie Tetrizio, just a little too much. But what a night for Washington State to really take control of this match. I'm sure now the message for the Cougars in the second half is going to be to not let off. There was a point a couple matches ago where Todd Schulenberger really felt that his team had given up some softer goals than they would like. Sydney Studer again in the midfield. Great find. We'll play with the heel towards Grayson Lynch. Another takeaway. And a foul outside the box. This will be direct to net. That time Jenna Studer along the far side trying to work with it. For Grayson Lynch, this isn't all too far from where she scored this last weekend against Cal Poly. Get a look at Jenna Studer there, the junior transferred from Arizona to Washington State to play with her older sister, Sydney. Now an impressive midfielder who can come up for Washington State. Scored an important goal against Seattle U. Grayson Lynch going backside. Mines avoiding a camera person. Workplace hazards. Micaiah Mines flying in down there by the net. Head on a swivel down there for social media team for Washington State. Their header in the midfield for Studer. Be turned around by Needling. Still under pressure. A last touch, Sydney Studer. Northern Colorado coming into play tonight. Second best record in the Big Sky in the non-conference slate. Behind only another team that sits in this region. The Idaho Vandals are 5-1-1. They've posted the best Big Sky non-conference record so far this year. So they're trying to break into a top part of the conference that has been really owned by Northern Colorado and Montana of late. So the good crowd on hand tonight helping out, set up the throw-in. Rican lets it go all the way to the end line. Not much by way of opportunities for either side to open the half. Anaya Cooper sends it away from net. Turner hit the deck in the midfield, needling to it, and was the last to touch it with Tappan in the area. Trizio was trying to box out for positioning there. Sydney Studer going out wide. Ends up being just cleared to the other side by Brittany Donis. Wanted to have opportunity to help her defense rotate over. Blanchard, nice play to angle it off of DeTrizio. Blanchard has been right in there defensively, the leader in terms of experience and minutes played throughout her college career on this Northern Colorado team. But Washington State has generated a lot out of the midfield tonight. And then they've used great footwork and nice passing to create opportunities. Woodhull, a dangerous run there with Maness and Rican converging on it. Maness offered just to clear it out of play as Cougars had a little bit of a lazy pass back to the center backs. And Tappan takes one away. Up to DeTrizio. DeTrizio centers it. But it was cleared out of there by Haley Onan. And then a little bit of a knuckler from Jenna Studer, scooped up by Lindbergh. McLean thinking about playing it back to her own net. A lot of contact kept up by Woodhull. Still battle on the far side. Donis thought that Washington State had touched it last. That's why she gave up on the play, and the officials put the flag up for the Cougars. So ball forward from Mackenzie Frimpong-Ellertson. It's got Lindbergh retreating. Frimpong-Ellertson, back left, already has one goal. Couldn't find a way to get it back around Lucy Roberts. Reese Tappan will start the next opportunity. DeTrizio tried to head it on. Frimpong-Ellertson still keeping it alive. Now Tappan from way out, and it's caught on the run by Lindbergh. Kaya Lindbergh came in with a 1.18 goals against average, 82% save percentage. It's taken a bit of a hit here these last couple matches against Virginia Tech and Washington State. A clear out of play by Maness. It was Lauren Woodhull and Kaylin Needling who had the goals for Northern Colorado in the second half of Sunday's match against the Hokies. Woodhull along the sideline here. Does cross one and got it off Coug for a corner. It's off of Akila McLean. First corner kick coming here for Northern Colorado. Comes in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. Corner kick to be taken by Haley Collier. Needling's the one who set up in front of net. Was headed on by Onan. Big collision in the box. And again, no whistle. There's been a lot of contact tonight with no whistles. It's gone both sides. And the shot from out wide was tipped. So Haley Collier, who offered that from distance, will now head over for a second corner kick opportunity. Northern Colorado tried to play around 12 yards out into some space. Lindsey Turner will now vacate that for Washington State. Again, angled and low. The header by Jenna Studer to keep it out of there. Oh, and the ball deflects up into Sydney Studer's right hand. Northern Colorado wanted to reset it quickly. Now they'll wait. They'll get the benefit of moving it up closer to goal anyways. Here for the set piece opportunity for Haley Collier. The senior, who's a returning starter for the Bears, goes straight at net and one hop to Nadia Cooper. The busiest Cooper has been this evening here over the last couple minutes. She'll pause for an opportunity to send it a ways from net. Does with a huge kick. Lots of time for Tappan to survey. Had Frimpong Ellertson. Well done by Hart to deflect it off Ellertson for the throw-in. For Northern Colorado, it's going to feel good after this one to get back to Greeley for a bit. On the road last week, James Madison, Virginia Tech on the East Coast. Then back out here to face Washington State. They'll get Utah State and Portland State to open conference action after the Aggies and the Bears wrap up non-conference play in Greeley here later this weekend. From Pong Ellertson, nice space to Tappan. Tappan trying to cross, and it was off Roberts for a Cougar corner kick. Corners have been exciting for Washington State.
Cougar corner kick.
Reese Tappan continues to have a great start to her season. Freshman was so reliable last year for the Cougars. Corner kick taken by Grayson Lynch. Lynch, a low laser, trickled through Jenna Studer. Eyes wide, hit it into that berm behind the east goal here at the lower soccer field. Picturesque location in the Pac-12 Conference. Off the back there of Lindbergh, bunch of dormitories here on the Washington State campus. One of the truly beautiful venues in women's college soccer. Donis was alone in that corner. Washington State emerges with it. Lynch able to settle it. Frimpong Ellertson as Roberts just got in the way of what would have been a very beautiful through ball. A square pass is going to outpace everyone to the near sideline. There's that scenic look behind the east goal at the lower soccer field. If you're lucky enough to be in that Global Scholars Hall, you can catch the game from the patio up there. Margie DeTrizio trying to use a little shoulder to get some space. Nice job by Blanchard and Ferris to put an end to that opportunity. This time far side, Grayson Lynch, her shot blocked down by Lindbergh. We mentioned Lynch has scored in 3 consecutive matches. Only 6 Cougars in program history have scored in 4 straight matches. That was the best opportunity so far tonight for Grayson Lynch.
In the midfield again, the Cougars lock it up. Collier having it challenged by Frimpong Ellertson. Throw in favors Washington State, still in this spot. Margie DeTrizio is also in search of an assist in the second half in terms of record watches for the Cougars. Their foul as Tappan was shoved. Margie DeTrizio's working on an active 3 consecutive match assist streak. If she can make it 4, she would tie Beth Childs from the 2001 Washington State club for a record 4 consecutive matches with an assist. DeTrizio and Lynch have been involved in so many goal-scoring opportunities this year for Washington State. Nice play through by Frimpong Ellertson for Tappan. Now Turner. Turner with the cross. Far side. The header from Studer. Lynch was trying to chase in the middle. Now DeTrizio settles it, and she scores a brace for Margie DeTrizio. Pinpoint passing set up the crossing opportunity, and DeTrizio with room at the top of the box puts it away for a 5-0 Cougar lead. Goals 5 and 6 tonight for DeTrizio, and Lynch gets the assist. First it was Lynch who thought that she was going to have the opportunity. Watching that back, Lynch is not going to get an assist for that, but what a 5th goal for Margie DeTrizio. She just continues to tally scores for WSU. Really impressive forward for the Cougs. Another in a lineage of players that have gone on to be all Pac-12 and then professional players. In the case of Morgan Weaver a few years back, an All-American. This goes all the way back to Anaya Cutler. She's under duress and at the feet was able to angle it away. Chase came from Lauren Woodhull. Throw coming for Reese Tappan in midfield. Boy, that's a pretty play for Anaya Cutler, but you bet the Hearts skipped a beat on the Washington State sideline.
Coming on now for Cougs number 22, Maren Wielden.
Maren Wielden will re-enter for Sydney Studer on the Washington State side. So look back at the opportunity here for Northern Colorado. Woodhull put some good pressure on, but Cooper calm under pressure to not rush it and go into what would have been a block there for Woodhull. Reeking again to the middle with Turner. You know, Lindsey Turner's been getting good minutes in the non-conference schedule for Washington State. One of those players that I'm sure rotationally the Cougars are trying to figure out where she fits in. Who we have not seen tonight for Washington State is Lily Boyden, a freshman phenom who scored her first goal last time out. Turner angling it wide. Lindbergh able to go get it and slingshots it out. But the run by Jenna Studer to get to the ball and played the ball. That was outstanding hustle from the junior. A substitution for Northern Colorado.
Coming in now for the Bears, number 3,
Ashley Hillman for Lucy Roberts. There's Studer running it down and got to the ball before Roberts. Tremendous hustle, and in the midfield, a foul's whistled against Haley Onan. And Lindsey Turner a little slow to get up. Officials will stop the clock for Turner as well in this spot. They talk about things. It'll be just a brief stoppage as Turner's up and moving all right. Most goals now tonight for Washington State since a 7-0 victory over Hawaii September 5th of the last non-conference season. Kinsey Frimpong Ellertson to the end line. Had it tapped out. Tappan just couldn't control it. Bridget Rieken with Hillman. Gets it back to Tappan. Cougars trying to generate another opportunity. Tappan crosses. Marin Wielden having to shield the lights, looking for it on the far side. And Donis cleared it out for a moment. Grayson Lynch now with a little space trying to play it out wide. Long run for Akila McLinn, and did keep it in. But right to the Bears. It's back to Rieken. Again, the Cougars find space to the far side. Grayson Lynch. Going to take on Northern Colorado on her own. Donis played it away. McLinn will hold it up top. McLinn sends it in. Turner got ahead on it. DeTrizio now space outside the 18. Crosses back in. That's more direct to net. Lindberg. Oh, a little bobble, but she gets on top of it. Dangerously close to the hat trick for Margie DeTrizio. You knew it could get interesting with the room that she had there, chipping it on Lindberg, and boy, just a couple feet from a third goal for DeTrizio. So a couple shots in the second half for Northern Colorado. Well, Washington State has generated 4. See Rachel Mortensen return to the match, played in the first half as well. And it's in the spot of Brittany Donis. Getting picked underneath by Woodhull. Coming off the back line to get to it, Ferris. Wide with Onan. A big hustle by Ferris to swing it back around in the midfield. Collier finding a little space. Again, the Cougars pick it off, that time McLinn. And it was deflected by Northern Colorado as well. Defensively, the Cougars have been pretty organized tonight. Played well in the midfield. Getting back to a dominating style they've played throughout most of the non-conference schedule. Todd Schulenberger said coming in tonight there were 4 things. He wanted a result. He wanted to get some more information about the rotations as DeTrizio gets this along the end line. And then has it played away by Ferris. DeTrizio is going to end up right back with this ball. Grayson Lynch now some room. Lynch with the shot, the save, Lindberg. Lynch has had a couple opportunities to try to make it 4 consecutive matches with a goal. Lindberg, though, makes another save tonight. That's number 8 for the Northern Colorado keeper. And this Lynch's opportunity. So we said numbers 1 and 2 that Todd Schulenberger wanted tonight, the result and the rotation. He said he also wants the team to stay healthy as number 3. And number 4, it was a chance to see another system, and he's really liked how this has worked out for Washington State in the non-conference schedule. It feels like they've seen a lot that they can put on tape that's going to help them in conference play with the formations that they'll face. A big group of subs for the Cougars. It gets Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson, Grayson Lynch, and Margie DeTrizio out for Brandon McReynolds, Alyssa Gray, and Aaliyah Blewett making her first appearance of the match. See you there? Sophomore from Texas. So we'll see if that's it for the leading attackers for Washington State in Lynch and Frimpong Ellertson and DeTrizio with less than 20 to play tonight. We mentioned point number 3 for Todd Schulenberger was to stay healthy. His team has done a pretty good job of that here in the non-conference schedule. And with a 5-0 lead tonight, don't expect that he's going to push it. Lily Timpson back in for the Bears. Alyssa Gray again drawing a couple defenders. And boy, Gray is not afraid to mix it up in the midfield. She's always going for headers despite the size difference she usually faces. Wheeldon able to push it off of Timpson. Wheeldon now trying to shield on the throw-in, kind of angled it towards net. Turner was in the area. McReynolds got a foot on it. Fan tried to kick it back in and actually lost a shoe against the base of that net. For the time being, Kay Lindbergh did not give it back. McKenna Wilson back in for Northern Colorado for Samantha Blanchard. And the shoe has been retrieved tonight here in Pullman. Even the fans trying to get in on the action as Washington State has been peppering the goals on both sides of the pitch this evening. Aaliyah Blewett. Jenna Studer back in the midfield. Ooh, Lindsay Turner able to weave through traffic. Brandon McReynolds heads it to keep the pressure on. Hart was trying to clear it out of there. McReynolds still battling. And now Jenna Studer taking a chance to run at it. Finds McReynolds. And Woodhull clears it off, but McLean again pressing to keep it in. Still a lot of pressure here in the midfield, and the Cougars are still on the hunt for possession of this one and will on a throw-in. A couple of those plays this year have been hard for Washington State, have led to counters. Think of matches like Michigan where the Cougars nearly came back in the second half. That's the only loss for Washington State this year. The foul with Turner hitting the deck. And I think the official's reaching for a card here. Well, maybe just to mark the spot. We'll be direct for Mackay Maness. 15 minutes to play tonight in Pullman. All Cougars here in their final home matchup of non-conference play. It's Mackay Maness. Goes left side. Keelan McLean was all alone. Was back into traffic. Maness comes running into a shot to tie. Fans again trying to make plays up there. Another substitution for Northern Colorado. Morgan King for Haley Collier.
Then for the Cougs, number 7, Alayli Hernandez Represa.
Washington State will also make a change at goal. This was the last scoring opportunity for the Cougs. Came out high for Makai Maness. But the Cougars do have a new goalkeeper. Youngsters trying to get to the ball there on the berm. Aurora Shuck has taken over in net after 75 minutes tonight. Aaliyah Blewett between the wickets takes the shot, and Lindbergh makes the catch. Shuck is a freshman from Lakewood, California, Los Alamitos High School, a former high school teammate of Collier Gathright, now in net for the Cougars. Shuck making the first appearance of her career. First goalkeeper not named Nadia Cooper in net for Washington State this year. Cooper could still get a combined shutout. She had one shutout previously on the season in a 0-0 draw against Portland. Haley Onan now coming off for Melina Ferris. Nadia Cooper tonight could also pick up a victory, which would be the 15th of her career, and it would place her 8th all-time already in the Washington State record books for the sophomore. She also played her 2,000th career minute tonight, Nadia Cooper. Header comes up. McReynolds settling it off of Bush. McReynolds trying a through ball for Gray. Cougars asking for a whistle. Reese Tappan keeping it alive on the attacking third. A quick back and forth to Woodhull. Got a little excited with the ball at her feet and did not keep it in play. Some more substitutions here in the closing minutes. Sydney Studer and Akila McLinn will get probably their final hurrahs for the night. Lexi Lerwick and Kalia Gathright back for the Cougars. Laylee Hernandez-Repreza has also made her way back into the match for Washington State. Breaking back middle with Menes. Now over to Lerwick. Lerwick, a freshman from Des Moines in the state of Washington, played at Kennedy Catholic. She has a brother who attends Washington State. In the box, Blewett was in the area. Got past her to Lindbergh. Big service in by the Cougs. And Aaliyah Blewett, who's an Oregon State transfer, was trying to get her first tally of her Cougar career. Lots of room for Jenna Studer. And she offers to try to send it over to Alyssa Gray. Nice takeaway, though, by Timpson. Long run for Blewett to get to this from Lerwick. And that Oregon State matchup to open conference play has a lot of ties between WSU and OSU. Blewett to McReynolds there as it went out the end line. Those are a pair of former Beavers, as is assistant coach Matt Kagan, as is fifth-year senior Sydney Studer. So there will be ties all over that match in Corvallis. as Riley Collinage makes her first appearance tonight. The freshman who has now played in all 9, a former 2-time All-League and 1-time All-State out of Littleton, Colorado. Reekin there to take it on the backside. The try for the attack from Hart. Cougars have it now with McReynolds, and the shot just wide. Brianna McReynolds does have 13 goals on her career from the time at Oregon State. Was feet away from her first Cougar goal. Jaden McClellan for Washington State now, San Jose State transfer. Junior from Portland, Oregon, seeing minutes here in the final 10 tonight. Washington State with the tallies tonight. Now 9 different goal scorers this year in non-conference play. Bridget Reekin and Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson, the newcomers to those tallies. McClellan getting it back. Cleared off by Blanchard. All the way back to Manis in the midfield for throwing. But 9 different goal scorers for the Cougars. Been spreading the love. Grayson Lynch, it does look like her 3-match scoring streak is going to come to an end tonight. Look at the box score. Assists for Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson, Jenna Studer, Brianna McReynolds tonight. 2 goals for Margie DeTrizio, 1 for Mackenzie Frimpong Ellertson, 1 for Bridget Reekin. And a foul with McClellan down to the turf. Clock stops at 82:47. Still a couple more subs waiting at midfield. McClellan okay. We'll be able to set up here. Actually, now she jogs off. Give the opportunity for Alyssa Gray. Gray with it. Reekin in the area. Manis was there too. Bridget Reekin, I think, did catch this one. And it's a brace for Reekin. 6-0 on a header, beautifully placed from Alyssa Gray. And the senior from Coeur d'Alene has a pair tonight to continue the steady attack and have a night, Washington State.
The assist by number 16, Alyssa Gray.
6-0 Cougs. And a look back at it. Alyssa Gray to Bridget Reekin. And if she didn't get it, Micaiah Manis was right there as well. Very impressive showing tonight for the Cougars against a team that is preseason picked first in the Big Sky. Back through Shuck, the backup goalkeeper, here in the closing minutes of play this evening. And you know Todd Schulenberger is going to be really happy about the conversions on the set pieces and all these great scoring opportunities tonight. But he's going to be even happier with the fact that his defense has stayed so steady in the second half, hasn't given up silly opportunities. The tackle leads to a foul there from Abby Bush. But the Cougars have a chance to post a clean sheet along with this tremendous offensive performance. Blew it, had a little hand in on the jersey and a tug on Donis. So we'll be Northern Colorado here with it. Bridget Rieken and Margie DeTrizio, each with braces tonight.
Number 26, Peyton Price.
So Wilson sets it up. Shuck having to dive out for it, and that elicits big-time cheers from the Cougar bench. First big play for Aurora Shuck in her Washington State career. Washington State also just brought in a freshman from Sammamish, Washington, Peyton Price, out of Eastlake High School, making her Cougar debut. Hernandez Repreza clears it out.
Substitutions for the Bears. Number 19, Haley Collier. Number 25, Alex Michael. Number 27, Lauren Woodhull.
Haley Collier, Alex Michael, Lauren Woodhull, all out there for Northern Colorado here in the final 5 minutes. Both teams rotating a plenty here late second half. A match that Washington State really wrapped up about halfway through the first half. Cougars put together 3 goals over a 5-minute stretch and have doubled the halftime lead. Well, actually, they've just added 2 to it. It was 4-0 at half. But they've doubled the scoring output of the goal scorers with the own goal. And there's Peyton Price making her Washington State debut. First team All-Kinco. Cougars continue to recruit well in-state. They've reached out of state for some great players as well. Price, part of that top 10 class for the Cougars. With the recruiting pipeline humming and the system really in place for Washington State, sky's the limit for this Cougar team. Picked 3rd in the Pac-12 this year, garnering first place votes for the first time in program history, 2 of them. And there's a lot of exciting season to go, as that was ricocheted off of Marin Wheeldon. Blew it in the midfield. Anna McReynolds giving every ounce of effort to this one, gets there first. Nifty footwork. And McReynolds earns the corner for Washington State. Cougars return home next. 2 weeks' time to take on Colorado. That'll be match number 2 of the Pac-12 season. You can find it on Pac-12 Washington with kickoff at 7 o'clock. That's after Washington State travels to Corvallis. Both Gray and Hernandez Repreza over the ball, and Washington State will hold it in the corner to milk a little clock here in the closing minutes. And Hernandez Repreza keeping it there for a throw-in. So Washington State will continue to be able to bleed a little time off. Cougars made the most of their set pieces and corner kick opportunities tonight as well. So continue to play keep away in the corner. Hernandez Repreza. And off of her teammate McClellan in the box. As I mentioned, the Cougars continue on this weekend. They head down to California to visit St. Mary's. There will be no stream of that match. You can follow along with WSU Cougar Soccer on Twitter for updates throughout that one. Goal kick coming from Northern Colorado. The Bears get to return home and call an end to this tough road trip. Face Utah State at noon on Sunday back in Greeley. It's waning moments tonight. Woodhull decides to send one forward at Shuck, who makes her second catch in front of net tonight. And that should do it for the opportunities coming towards Aurora Shuck, who plays the first 15 minutes of her collegiate career tonight. And is going to be able to team up with Anaya Cutler for the combined shutout. And Washington State will make it 5 consecutive victories here in non-conference play. The Cougars tonight blitz the Bears for 6 goals and wrap up their home non-conference schedule with a 6-0 victory. Really impressive showing tonight from one of the top teams in the Pac-12 as they post shutout number 2 on the year and improve to 5-1-1 on the season. For our entire Pac-12 Plus crew, including our producer, Jared Prengruber, this is Trevor Williams saying so long tonight from the Palouse. 6-0 Wazoo rolls over Northern Colorado on Pac-12 Plus.